Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. This is your home for organic Bible study that's fresh and delicious, artisanally made, responsibly handled, locally sourced, just for you every day here 5 days a week. Now, that's what we do. It's 5 days a week. It's 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, studying the Psalms verse by verse. That's my little elevator pitch here on Daily Dose Radio. Well, this week we're studying Psalm 40, and today we're going to be in 7 through 10, although, as I said yesterday, I'm going to read verse 6 as well, because verse 6 goes with it. So why don't we just go ahead and jump right in here and read 6 through 10. Sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire, mine ears hast thou opened. Burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required. Then said I, Lo, I come. In the volume of the book it is written of me. I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yea, thy law is within my heart. I have preached righteousness in the great congregation. Lo, I have not refrained my lips, O Lord, thou knowest. I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart. I have declared thy faithfulness and thy salvation. I have not concealed thy loving kindness and thy truth from the great congregation. Okay, so that's 6 through 10. And the reason I include 6 is because this passage is quoted in the book of Hebrews in the New Testament. In chapter 10 of Hebrews, the author of that book is making an argument about the sacrifice of Christ. And so he uses this passage as one of the foundational texts to prove that the sacrifice of Christ has replaced forever the Jewish system of sacrifices. And that God never wanted that to begin with. What he wanted was one sacrifice eternally that would take care of the sin question. And that's what Jesus provides for us. So if you want to look over in Hebrews, in chapter 10, now we're going to begin here in verse 4. In verse 4 we have it, For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and goats should take away sin. So the sacrifices for sin never worked. They worked for a while, but it was yearly. They had to go back every year because the sacrifice was imperfect. The blood of bulls and goats was never actually meant to do that forever. Then he quotes from Hebrews chapter 10. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he saith, Sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared me. You see the difference here between the psalmist's statement, but my ears have you opened, and this statement, a body hast thou prepared me. The difference is in the Greek translation of the Hebrew text, but really they're both very similar because the opening of the ear is a reminder that slaves were allowed to go to the temple and have their ear bored with an awl, and that would mean that they were permanently the servants of the master that bored the ear. So we have to have a body for that, don't we? And when he says, a body hast thou prepared me, the body that was prepared for Jesus was the body of a servant. Remember what Paul said in Philippians chapter 2. He took upon him the form of a servant. So we have this statement here, that quoting from Psalm 40, Sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared me. In burnt offerings and sacrifices for sin thou hast no pleasure. Notice that it's offerings and sacrifices, the plural, because it's bulls and goats, plural. It's not one sacrifice. God has no pleasure in that. Then said I, Lo, I come. In the volume of the book it is written of me, to do thy will, O God. Now you'll notice, here we have the condescension of Christ. He says there in verse 7, I come, Lo, I come, in the volume of the book it is written of me. That is the prophecy about Jesus coming in the flesh to take on the form of a servant has been told to do thy will. And what's God's will? Well, he's going to go to the cross, and he's going to redeem the elect. To do thy will, O God, above when he said, sacrifice and offering and burnt offerings for sin thou wouldest not, neither hast thou pleasure therein, which are offered by the law. Now here's the author's interpretation. Which are offered by the law. Then said he, Lo, I come to do thy will, O God. He taketh away the first, that is, the sacrificial system of bulls and goats and their blood, which would take away sin for a time, for a year or a little while. He takes away the first, that he may establish the second, that is, the body and blood of Christ for the elect, for the church, by the which we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once for all. So we have been sanctified through the offering of Jesus. And notice what he says there at the end, once. It's a one-time sacrifice. And it's for all those that God will bring into the church, the elect. That's who it's for. Once for all of those members. And Jesus does that for us. And so you put in one hand the Hebrew evangelist's interpretation of Psalm 40, and then we look back at Psalm 40 and we realize that this whole thing is for us, and it's about Christ himself. So beginning there in 6 and going all the way down through verse 10, all of this is about the Lord Jesus. And we didn't even treat really 9 and 10, but you look at that and it says he's preached in the great congregation. He has not hid the truth and the righteousness and the faithfulness and the loving kindness. Who are we talking about? This is none other than the ministry of the Lord Jesus when he was here, and now, even now, preaching through the church. The same thing, the faithfulness, the loving kindness of God. Okay, well, join me again tomorrow, and we're going to look beginning there in verse 11. So I hope you'll join me then here on Daily Dose Radio.